Hello, welcome to Steve Stock, talking stock market and trader strategies. Today's topic is how to trade a wild stock. How to handle a wild stock? A stock going up all the time, straight up. For example, look chart of CROX on February 2021. You have the following options. First one, short. Second one, watch it going up. Third one, buy. Now, what is your choice? First of all, short, the wild stock, is against the trend in general. It is not good until real top has formed. Any signal to show it's topping? If yes, it is not wide anymore. So the answer is, you may short, but need to see the right signal first. We'll cover this topic later. Here we assume it's wild, continue to be wild, and there's no signal yet. So the second option is keep watching. You waste your time and emotion, and you lose chance to make money. So this choice is not that good. The third option is to buy. Suppose you don't see any signal, which is dangerous. Suppose you see it's normal, with normal volume and normal up, and then you consider to buy. Here we just show this chart actually when we showed last time of February, and then it continued like more than 6 months. It's continued going up. So typically, how do you buy that? You can buy all the money in one shot. The problem is with that is if you run, you might lose big. So there is a very typical way called a pyramid up. Basically, idea is buy a portion of it and hold to see what the market does to your shares. If the shares earning profit, you add more. If the shares go into loss, you cut it. So typically, to control the risk and to protect your profit, you reduce the shares in your next hands. So you keep reducing. That's why we call this method a pyramid up. So look at these triangles. Basically, you buy more shares on bottom, and the next time smaller and smaller. This is a typical way to do that. However, for wild great stock, we like to introduce another approach. This method was first introduced in Li Yang-Ho's book. His book was written in Chinese. His method is translated to English as farmer seeding technique. And in his method, he has 3 steps. The first one is to predefine a 3% stop for every hand of a transaction. Second, if the price increases 3% compared to the last trade today, then tomorrow we add 1 hand of it. If the price decreases, so the last hand has a 3% loss today, then we reduce 1 hand tomorrow. Now here we want to see why you choose a 3% and not a 15 15% or something else for stop. We have done some experiment, and the experiment shows both will make money, and the only significant difference is a smaller stop gives a lot of more transactions, and it actually depends on how the stock look like. Some stock is wild and violent, and you might need a bigger stop, and someone you want a smaller stop. However, if you prefer to have a few transactions, use reasonable bigger stops. But you do not want to use too big, because otherwise you might get stuck to a very bad stock one day. So here is an example of ING from March 2017 to December 2019. You can see basically it's going up very nicely, and somehow on September 2018 it's going down, and the summer pullback, and then continue go up, and somehow in March there's a big up downs, and then continue, then most likely kind of like slow down. So let's do our calculation. Our calculation as with a 15% stop used, and the some of the transactions we list on this table, and with a profit, you can see the profit can be 473% and down to 200%. And however, in the middle, some of the transactions are lost transactions. It was stopped because they hit a 15% stop. So we have here. But overall, you can see this is approach gave a very good result. However, there is sometimes you may not choose a good stock, or you may be entered the wrong time. For example, for this stock as Amazon, and if you say, for example, you get in from January and to March 2020, and basically by using this 15% stop idea, you may have 3 positions, and each one is a loss, and they lost 60%, 9%, 13%. Well, however, you can see this loss is controlled. You don't lose too much. However, you get out of this stock which does not going very well. So the beauty of this approach is we control the loss, and we still have gain if it's a good stock. Finally, very importantly, so what time you get out finally? Say, for example, you have a big pile of money with a good profit. You need to build a rule to get out. This is a big subject, actually. Into this topic, we're going to see whether this wild stock, our rules basically. First one is if it's not a wild animal. For example, the short moving average is a moving wild, and long moving average. And usually when the crossing from above, and that means it's a slowdown. And the second thing, what we want to do is we watch the dangerous signs. We'll talk more on the other topics about this. Here, generally, for example, you have a big volumes with the selling on the top. It might be a dangerous sign. And finally, it's more importantly, is you stop get fired, and you always protect overall position by a stop. Let's summarize our approach. Basically, buy more and more if you're good. Stop if not good. Finally, get out with a big pile of profit, or you control the loss. Good luck. Thank you to listen to this topic. See you next time.